By the way, this is like my third coffee of the day, so I'm like ready to roll. What's up, everyone? Welcome. It is time to get cooking. I'm Jacqui Saldana, and I've been creating simple and delicious recipes on my website for more than 10 years with my family. And now I'm inviting you into my kitchen to come cook along with me while I show you how to easily create weeknight dinners, decadent desserts, and everything tasty in between. I keep it real, and most importantly, I keep it simple. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss out on our weekly videos. And now, let's see what we're making today. Hello everyone, my name is Jacqui Saldana. If you are new here, welcome. If you've been here before, I am so glad you're back. We're not just making cold brew today. We are taking cold brew and we are making cold brew cookies. Cold brew chocolate chip cookies. They are so delicious. The coffee brings out the chocolate flavor. They're like thick and crispy on the outside, gooey on the inside. I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna start making these cookies. I shared them on Instagram a couple weeks back and everyone fell in love with them, but I thought, you know what? Let's make a YouTube video and show these cookies up close and personal. Let's make some cookies. So we've got 5 tablespoons of unsalted, softened butter. All right, I left my butter out overnight so it's nice and soft. Look at that, super soft. And again, I'm gonna say this again, I say this a lot. I use unsalted butter, especially when baking and cooking, because when recipes call for salt and you use salted butter, you can't really control the salt content. Now we're gonna add in 3/4 cup of sugar. All right, cool. And we're gonna also add in 1 egg. And I left the egg out also overnight. So now we have all room temperature ingredients, and that's gonna really let us have a nice, soft, smooth dough. All right, so to this, I'm gonna add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Boop. Okay, I'm gonna let it mix and come together until it's nice and smooth. To make these cold brew cookies, we are using instant cold brew. So it's super fine instant coffee here. When I shared these cookies on Instagram, hi, a lot of you said, where can I find, hi. A lot of you asked, where can I find instant cold brew? Because not everyone has a Trader Joe's nearby, which I totally understand. So the way you can do this is you can use instant coffee, which you can find at pretty much any grocery store. You can also use super fine espresso powder, which works really great. So yeah, I'm using the instant cold brew here because that's what I have on hand. You can use, I'll list it right here. You can use instant coffee. You can use fine espresso powder. So I'm gonna use 4 teaspoons. This is gonna be super coffee forward, 4 teaspoons instant cold brew. To this, we're gonna add 1.5 teaspoons of water. You don't need warm water, you just need some water to get it going here. All right, so what you have now is a very concentrated coffee syrup here. It smells delightful if you love coffee. And this is what's gonna flavor our cookies. It's gonna bring out the chocolate flavor. And yeah, it's gonna give your cookies a nice buzz. These cookies are so yummy. They're so good. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And it's very concentrated, so you don't need much more than this. This is what our butter and our sugar and our vanilla and our egg look like. And to this, we are going to add our coffee. In you go, coffee. All right, so the coffee is in here. We're gonna slowly mix this. All right, that mixture looks great. Now we have 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And to this, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Little leavening here. Give this a little bit of a whisk. And my rule of thumb, whenever you're adding your dry ingredients to your wet ingredients, when you're baking, you wanna do it slow and low. And I'm gonna stop mixing this as soon as a cookie dough forms. You definitely don't want to overmix here, otherwise your cookie ends up being like way too dense and just like rock hard. I also want to note that this cookie batter is very dry. It doesn't have a lot of butter in it. It only has 1 egg. So it's very different from, like, let's say our brownie cookies, which are it's like a more wet dough. The best thing about that is you don't have to chill this cookie dough after you make it. Most cookie doughs you have to chill so they hold their form in the oven while they're baking. See, just until a dough forms. Okay, so this is what you're looking for and what's gonna take these to the next level. I mean, right now, these are just technically coffee cookies, which would be great, but what goes great with coffee? Chocolate. And you can use chocolate chips here, you can use chocolate chunks, but I think there's some novelty in using chocolate bars. So we're gonna use chocolate bars and we're gonna give it a nice rough chop. I'm using milk chocolate, which might be like, you know, up for discussion. Most bakers, pastry chefs, they love semi-sweet or bittersweet or even dark chocolate when you're making sweet things because you know, sometimes it's nice to have like a bittersweet chocolate paired with a really sweet cookie. But listen, I am team milk chocolate all the way. I love milk chocolate in anything. So I go with milk chocolate here, but you can definitely get away with doing dark chocolate, bittersweet chocolate, or even white chocolate if you want to go for like a white mocha kind of feel. That might actually be really good. But we're doing milk chocolate today. And I've got about 2 to 3 ounces of chocolate, and which equals out to be about a cup. If you want to do more than a cup, you totally can, and they'd be like full of chocolate, but just about a cup of chocolate chips, whatever you have on hand. All right, I'm going to toss in my chocolate here. Again, you don't want it too much. All right, so it looks a little sandy, which is normal, but it holds together fairly well. So I've got a baking sheet here and it's lined with a silicone baking mat. You know I'm a big fan of these. And I've got my trusty cookie scooper here. It's a 2-ounce cookie scoop. You can also use it for ice cream. Everyone asks me about this, so I'm gonna leave the link down below in the description below for this and also my silicone baking mats. If you make cookies or when you see me make cookies, I always use this scoop. It gives you a nice, good sized cookie. And for this cookie in particular, it makes a nice rounded, fun little cookie shape. So, all right, so I've got my dough here and I'm going to literally press my cookie scoop in here and scoop it out. See how I'm doing that? All right, cool. So I'm gonna press it in with my hand and I'm going to scoop it out. Ah! It looks so cute and perfect. All right, see that little baby? So I'm gonna do that and fill up this tray. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect! So that dough makes 12 perfect little cookie balls. All right, 2 things. Number 1, what makes a chocolate chip cookie 10 times better? Sea salt. It's awesome. It's the best. All right, so we're gonna sprinkle a little sea salt on top of each of these cookie beauties. And then the second thing is, these cookies are very round, right? And I guess you could say thick like this, right? Most cookies, when you bake them in the oven, they bake for like 8 minutes, 10 minutes max. Well, these cookies, to make sure that the inside gets cooked all the way, they cook for a longer time, about 14 to 15 minutes, which might seem like crazy long for a cookie, but I promise you it's necessary to get the inside cooked perfect. So we're gonna bake these at 350 for about 14 minutes. And when they're done, I will show you what they look like. And I will eat one, probably 3. The cold brew chocolate chip cookies just came out of the oven and they look delicious. You can see how they kept their shape in the oven just like I told you they would. They're super, super hot, so I'm gonna let them cool just a second before I dig in, which you should too. Once they come out of the oven, you're gonna let them cool. All right, I'm ready. I'm gonna take this one because it has a nice, beautiful salt crystal on top. What's better than a warm chocolate cookie fresh from the oven? Look at that. So you can see it's a little crispy on the outside, but super soft on the inside. I'm gonna go for it. Oh my God. You are going to love these. If you love coffee, if you love chocolate, if you like cookies, coffee, chocolate, cookies. It's gonna be your dream come true. These are so good. The girls are playing outside with Dan, and I'm gonna just devour. I told you 3, I'm gonna eat 3 of these, no problem. This recipe is delicious. You can find the written recipe on my website. I'll leave that link in the description below. Before you head out, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and please consider subscribing to our channel. We really have a lot of fun here and yeah, I'm excited. So I'm gonna eat these cookies and I will see you in the next video.